Valentine's Day loomed over me like a specter, its arrival unwelcome yet inevitable. The echoes of a relationship recently ended still haunted the corners of my apartment, making the prospect of spending the holiday alone seem all the more daunting. It was amidst this backdrop of solitude that a friend, perhaps tired of my moping, suggested a foray into online dating. "It's just for fun," he assured me over the phone, a note of forced cheerfulness in his voice. "You need to distract yourself, man. Trust me." That's how I found myself swiping through profiles on an app, each swipe an attempt to brush away the cobwebs of a love lost. Then, there was Eliza. Her profile stood out like a beacon in the sea of sameness, her photos a tapestry of creativity and her bio a hint at a mind both witty and deep. Our match was immediate, and the conversation that followed was a balm to my bruised heart. She was funny, insightful, and, perhaps most intoxicating of all, interested. When she proposed meeting on Valentine's Day itself, a part of me hesitated. "Isn't that a bit intense?" I texted back, the glow of my phone screen illuminating the uncertainty on my face. "Intense? I think it's perfectly romantic," came her reply, punctuated by a heart emoji. "What's life without a little adventure?" Her words, so full of confidence and allure, tipped the scales. "All right, adventure it is," I typed back, my decision marking the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. The coffee shop where we agreed to meet was a cozy spot downtown, its warm lights a haven from the February chill. Eliza was already there, seated at a table by the window, her presence even more captivating in person. The initial awkwardness quickly gave way to easy conversation, laughter bridging the gap between two strangers seeking connection in the digital age. As the evening drew to a close, and we parted ways, a nagging sensation tugged at the back of my mind. There was an intensity to her gaze, a fervor in her goodbye that seemed disproportionate to the few hours we'd spent together. I shrugged it off as nothing more than the remnants of my own apprehensions. The real unease began later that night. I was jolted awake by the incessant buzzing of my phone, a barrage of messages lighting up the screen. Each message from Eliza was more frantic than the last, a rapid descent from affection to obsession. "Why did you leave me?" she wrote. "I thought what we had was special." "Eliza, we just met tonight. You're being a bit intense," I replied, my grogginess giving way to alarm. "But I feel like I've known you forever. We're meant to be together. I'm coming over," she responded, her words sending a chill down my spine. I was still processing her messages when the knocking started. Soft at first, then growing in urgency. I approached the door with trepidation, the peephole revealing Eliza's face, her expression wild, almost unrecognizable from the woman I had dined with just hours earlier. "Eliza, you need to go home. This isn't okay," I said through the door, my voice steady but my heart racing. "No, you don't understand. We're meant to be together," she insisted, her voice laced with a desperation that bordered on mania. The realization that the evening's venture into online dating had spiraled into a situation far beyond my control was a sobering one. As I stood there, the barrier of the door the only thing separating me from what had quickly become a Valentine's Day nightmare, I couldn't help but wonder how a swipe right had led me to this moment of fear and disbelief. The rhythmic knocking against my door had transformed from a mere disturbance into the soundtrack of a nightmare. "Please, just leave," I pleaded, my voice muffled by the wood that separated us. Her response was a chilling silence followed by an escalation in her efforts to enter. The knocks became bangs, each one echoing like a shot in the quiet of my home. Panic rooted me to the spot for a moment longer before survival instincts kicked in. I fumbled with my phone, my fingers trembling as I dialed 911. The dispatcher's calm voice was a stark contrast to the chaos unfolding. "There's someone trying to break into my house. She was my date tonight. Please, send someone quickly." I stammered, the reality of the words I was saying adding to the surrealism of the situation. "Stay on the line with me," the dispatcher instructed firmly. "Lock yourself in a room and stay quiet. Help is on the way." I backed into my bedroom, turning the lock just as I heard the horrifying sound of glass breaking from the living room. The sanctity of my home was violated in that instant, the shattering of the window a harbinger of the terror that now freely roamed within its walls. From the safety of my bedroom, I could hear her, the sound of her footsteps in ominous melody, the occasional overturning of furniture punctuating her search. Her mutterings seeped through the cracks around the door, a mix of anger and delusion. "We're meant to be together. Why can't you see that?" The waiting was agonizing, every minute stretching on like an eternity. The police sirens, when they finally came, were the most beautiful sound I'd ever heard. Relief washed over me, quickly followed by a surge of fear for what confrontation might occur. Officers entered my home, their commands loud and clear amidst the chaos. I stayed hidden until one of them found me, his presence a reassurance of safety. "Sir, are you okay? Did she hurt you?" "No, I'm not hurt," she broke in. I was scared to confront her. I managed to say, my voice a mix of relief and residual fear. In the living room, they found Eliza, her hands clutching a piece of broken glass, her expression one of confusion and rage. "He loves me, you can't keep us apart," she screamed as they handcuffed her, her delusions unshaken even in the face of reality. The aftermath was a blur of police reports and statements, the office's sympathetic looks doing little to ease the sense of violation that lingered. The broken window was eventually fixed, but the shattered sense of security was beyond repair. My home no longer felt like a sanctuary, each creak and whisper of wind a reminder of that night's terror. In the days that followed, I wrestled with a myriad of emotions: fear, anger, disbelief. The decision to delete my online dating profile was an easy one, a small but significant attempt to reclaim some sense of control. Yet, the shadow of that Valentine's Day lingered, a stark reminder of the darkness that can hide behind the facade of a screen, waiting to swipe right into our lives.